Me today sitting in the driver's seat of my 2008 Range Rover 3.6. In today's video, I'm going to run through the real running costs for this car for the past 27 months. Probably the longest I've ever kept a car. What is the real running cost? Well, I'm going to break this down step by step, excluding fuel and government taxes. I'm not going to include them because they're different for everyone. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below. What is your experience of Range Rover 3.6 TDV8 ownership? Has it been an absolute money pit? Let me know in the comments. So I have my trusty sheet. Number one, 2 years ago into my ownership, the suspension of this vehicle started giving bother. It was at the front, it started lowering down, not raising up, problems like this. And to be honest, I just threw parts at it. So I bought the Hitachi repair kit. So this is like a repair kit I bought on eBay, £87. I bought the valve block repair kit, $15.95. I think I just thought, I don't know which one is at fault yet, so I'll just buy the two and I'll be right whatever happens. I bought a replacement pump for £140. I bought a rear suspension valve block, £25. I bought a front suspension valve block, £21. So I was just buying these valve blocks. And then one of them I got was faulty, so I bought another one. That cost me £3, much better value. I bought a air suspension sensor, a pressure sensor, okay? That cost me £32.98. I bought an AMK compressor. I bought an airbag for the front left, £169. I bought one for the front right, £275. Yeah, both of them failed at different points actually, to be honest. I bought another compressor, £140, and an AMK compressor, £170, another one at £100. Folks, I went crazy with my compressors because I started taking bits off one and I was like, okay, I'll get it going. And I really thought the compressor was faulty. And I first of all, I don't recommend to buy the real cheap new ones off eBay. They didn't work out for me, right? Only buy the proper ones. But I'm kind of glad I was able to reuse them in other vehicles, but I put them down to this car because I bought them for this car. I could have avoided it, but I didn't. So learn from my mistake. Just don't buy pilot compressors, right? The fault in my case was there was a leak on the front left and front right. The valve blocks were actually, I think, fine. And it was actually the suspension ECU that went faulty. That's what was causing me my issues. And that's why it was giving me conflicting errors. And that's why things just weren't running right for me. I was just clutching at straws trying to get it fixed, and I just bought all these compressors, right? Upper and lower suspension arms, they were really good value, £109 right at the front, okay? The total for suspension, £1,468.33, right? Engine and cooling, all right? Upper intercool hose pipes, they fail for everyone, right? £32.75. I then needed the lower ones as well. They started giving me bother, so it was £105 for them. And then at the moment, I'm actually in the process of replacing my torque converter. This car has been jumping a bit since I got it, kind of like driving over rumble sticks. You know what I mean? Like juddering. Now, that's been like that for 2.5 years, but I'm now like, I just want to get that fixed, right? So I was over in Wales 3 weeks ago and I went to a lovely guy in a town called Ratlin, I believe. And I picked up a torque converter, fully refurbished. It was £350. So I have that. I still have to fit it, so I can't put that costing against my ownership, but that's how much it cost me to get the part. And he charged £150 deposit, but I'm not going to count that because, I'm going to get that back. Okay, so exterior and interior components, right? Okay, so my door release cable failed on the passenger side. That was £15.98. My window regulator failed in the rear of the vehicle. That was £14. Wiper blades, I spent £9.80. Bonnet gas struts, they were £13. Replacement key fob, £7. Manifold cover right hand side, £135. That developed a crack as well. I was very unfortunate. Boot cable, £20. Brake sensor, £15. Brake pads, £30. Some more wipers at £11. An alloy nut, £6. And then I'm sitting on it now. My trusted heated seat repair was £76. The next part was like the plastic coating that is inside this seat. This is a heated and cooled seat. That was £33, all right? So I got my heated seat working, right? Let's see what's next. This is a long list, isn't it? It was kind of scary, but it all down on paper. Then I had to buy 2 service kits over my 25,000 miles. I got one given to me, it was an old one, and I'd buy 2 more. That was £84 for those 2, right? So the total for the exterior and interior components, like all those little bits, was £475.78, all right? Then I went and, like the good Land Rover driver I am, I went and purchased some new tires for this vehicle. I went and got General Grabber all-terrains. They were, let me see, 255, 55, 20s. They cost me £936. I got 5 of them. Now, this is a biggie. This is where the biggie comes in, right? Turbos. So when I first got this vehicle, basically day one, I was driving it. And I put the shoe down. I just blanked the EGRs. All right. And it just popped. And what happened was the turbos failed, or rather the left-hand turbo failed, but I took the right-hand turbo with it, right? So I had to get them rebuilt. I went to Midland Turbos, I believe they're in Birmingham, and they rebuilt them for me. It was £634. I had to send them my old turbos, but absolutely amazing job they did. But I had to get them fitted, and that cost me £1,000. And that's actually when I replaced my gasket as well for the right-hand exhaust gasket, all right? £1,634 for turbos and all that, right? So that means there was a grand total that I've spent in this car in the last 2.5 years just to keep it on the road, and excluding fuel and excluding, like, you know, motor tax or like MOT, of £4,012.86, right? Now I want to add in depreciation. I've looked into this vehicle, and whilst I've imported this vehicle to the Republic of Ireland, if it had stayed on UK plates, it would have depreciated by about £2,000 in the last 2.5 years, all right? So that would put a monthly cost of £222.70 to run this vehicle. I have to think that is actually all right. I'm happy with those numbers. Yeah, I overspent on things like the compressor. Yeah, mainly the compressor stuff. I spent far too much on all that stuff. I could have done it much more competitively. My mistake. I'm happy to pay £222 per month just to drive this vehicle. And if I stretch that out over the next 2 or 3 years, like, that average monthly cost will drop. Is this, or was this, the best car ever made? Let me know in the comments. I honestly think Range Rovers, particularly this generation, but nearly all Range Rovers, are some of the best cars that was ever put on the road. They got a lot of slack. A lot of people give out about them saying, oh, they're killing the planet and all this other rubbish. But you guys, people listening, what do you think? Let me know down below in the comments.